Hi, my name is Sarah. Um, I had a friend that set up this page, a blog, diary, to kind of go over daily life and the things that I deal with in life, um, and my journey in the last few months and years, traumas, trying to find joy. Um, I guess as an introductory, I'll do a relatively okay. There's nothing short explaining with me. Um, I had some medical issues that came up. I had a heart attack, and then I had to have surgery, and we ended up finding out that my main LAD was 99% blocked. So I have 3 stents and a balloon in my heart. And then about a year and a half ago, in July of last year, um, I was hit by a car as a pedestrian, and I ended up, after a lifetime of suffering from chronic depression, um, among other things, a lot of trauma, a lot of PTSD. Uh, I decided I got sick of letting it all cave in on me. I needed out. I needed out of the walls. Uh, I decided to go on a trip. Um, I have been married 4 times. Uh, my latest husband came along on this trip with me. It was a way for us to just be together, spend time together, and see the different things in the U.S. That I kind of wanted to find peace with God. I wanted to see beautiful things. I wanted to experience stuff that uh, I wouldn't have had a chance to do, or that others don't take the time or always put off to one day. And I didn't want to keep saying one day because I knew that never happened if I kept saying that. So we went out. Um, we started in September. Uh, we I, I worked for a little while. It was very painful. I've been on disability for about 12 years. Um, and I was able to work for a little bit, saved up enough to buy a van so that we could go on the road and I didn't have to use my other car. Um, we ended up packing so much, we had to return a couple times to unload, and we still couldn't even step back here. Um, I am in my van right now as I'm recording this. Uh, but along our journey, we went through the eastern part of Tennessee and through Georgia, down the east coast of Florida. And about midway, um, we kind of got trapped here. Uh, there was a mix up with my Social Security, and it got messed up for about 3 months, and I had no income. Um, my husband was having to take care of everything on his until I got my back pay. Um, we both had, even though we said 6 months to a year that we'd be on the road, at least, we really were seriously talking about living on the road. Uh, but that changed um, at some point, and I'm really not sure when. Uh, but he had made some friends at a campground that we stopped at while we were floating because we didn't have the money to continue on the trip. Um, we had gone ahead. A couple had uh, left that campground and had broken down. Um, and when they had called another camper to see about maybe some suggestions or help, um, I had volunteered to go get them. Um, I felt that, hey, if my husband made friends with them, then go get them. It's the right thing to do. Well, unfortunately, because of that, the car had some breakdowns. Um, the wheel bearing ended up getting fused in and broke. Um, that had to get uh, not welded, but smoothed out. I can't think of the word. Um, we had the wheel bearing problem. When we went to go fix that in the garage, which cost quite a bit of money. Uh, we then had to fix an O2 sensor. We have a big hole in our exhaust. Uh, we had a major rear seal leak, so that had to get done. And for the last couple months, we've basically been trapped in central South Florida, um, getting through a lot of money problems and a lot of needing to fix the vehicle. Um, the trip started not getting so fun for him, and having mosquitoes in the Everglades apparently was a shock. And being in Florida, the heat was obviously uncomfortable. And all of a sudden, even though I had my moments of not feeling well or kind of feeling a little homesick, he had mentioned that he wasn't feeling good. And mentioned that a couple times. And then finally was like, once he had said, well, I'd like to go home for a little while. Um, I thought maybe it was about the same thing that he had told me. Just hang on. It'll be all right. Get some rest. And so I treated it the same way, and ended up finding out that he was planning on leaving me behind my back. And he said, "Okay, we'll try. I'll wait. I'll try. But he wouldn't stop lying to me, and woke up and he wasn't there anymore. Brother had come and gotten him, and he left me behind in a vehicle that is not prepared to drive all the way back home, uh, in the streets of Florida City. Um, I don't know if you just heard the sirens out there, but it's not a lovely place at night. Uh, in the parking lot, you can hear whistlers, or what I call whistlers, people going by tagging oops, sorry, I almost dropped that. Um, Scoping out, I don't want to say victims, potential targets to rob or lift things. Um, so it has not been very pleasant. He left on Martin Luther King Day. Not that was a significant time. But this week I have eaten very little, slept very little, wake up at least 12 times a night. And this is the first time in my life that I do not want to give up on something that I set out for myself. I can't give up on me for my entire life. For everybody else, just because something is either uncomfortable for them or they don't want to take responsibility for reality. And I have always had to put things aside to take care of whatever, and I let it get me down. This blog, videos, whatever, it's going to be part of my trip, part of my journey. It's going to have good, it's going to have bad, it's going to have new experiences. Apparently, it's whatever else falls apart in my life, which there is a never-ending circle of that. So I started on our trip, excited, driven, with a husband. 4 months later, I have no husband. Most of the stuff in the van is gone because he took it with him. But I'm not done. He might not have thought the marriage was worth hanging out for, and that it was more important to go back home and play PlayStation, retreat. I'm not going to give up this time. I might have to take a pause to take care of those problems. But there have been opportunities sent my way that I'm sure later on I'll get into. That there's, God, I hate hoping. I hate trusting. I hate doing any of that stuff because it always ends up screwing me. Giving the benefit of the doubt, sometimes I feel so stupid. But if we can't do that for each other, then how are we supposed to coexist? Everyone says how we need to care about each other and look out for each other and be there for each other. And you can't even trust each other. And you sure as hell can't trust the people that are supposed to have your back the most. And I don't think it's right to get backed into a corner, to feel that loving other people is wrong. I refuse to do that. So, tomorrow, I'm gonna try and fix one of my problems, which, if it works out, I'll update you tomorrow. Oh, yeah. And then, 2 days after my husband left, I looked for my wallet. Apparently my wallet was lifted out of my purse. So I have no ID, no driver's license, no credit cards, no bank cards. My stent card and my COVID card, all gone. I had like $7 left to my name. That's gone. But I'm not. So I'll post some of the videos that I've had on the trip. Don't worry, this won't all be miserable. Some of it might be. So thanks for listening, and I'll record more later.